from the drive that John did?
Let's start it up again. Let's rewind.
Oh, boy.
Say go, New York, go, New York, go. Say go, New York, go, New York, go. Say go, New York, go, new team, it's the same dream. New Knicks City units, boy, they stay clean. I just caught mine off of Fanatics in the garden with my hands in the air, we back at it.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Thank you for tuning in to SKF Weekly. You see it. I'm your brother Ron. That is my brother John, and we are
good.
Here rocking with you.
What's good? What's good?
Oh man, Knicks went out there and they did. No, that's not the energy, baby. Let's go. Knicks get a big victory against the 76ers. I mean, I meant the
No,
Milwaukee Bucks. I'm sorry.
the
I meant the
Milwaukee
Milwaukee.
Bucks.
No, I was watching highlights of the 76ers before I started. They're on my brain. Anyway, whatever. Pause.
It's all
Um,
good.
yeah, man. Okay, we're good now. All right.
Yeah,
But yeah, big victory against the Milwaukee Bucks. So I'm excited, brother John. How are you feeling, man? How's everything going?
Doing good, man. Like you said, excited about the victory that we got against the Milwaukee Bucks. It was in the beginning, it felt a little grim, I should say. Felt like, the eclipse that didn't happen in some parts of New York, right? Like where I was. It was an interesting day. But we end up, full solar eclipsing the Milwaukee Bucks. So that was dope. They got busy, man. They came back from a down 10, right? Which was exciting to see us, come back. And we've been having those comebacks very recently, right? The last few games, we've been, down early and then coming back. I don't know how much more that we can, continue to fall down in long stretches of a game and trying to work our way back. But it was a good sight to see yesterday for sure.
Agreed. I definitely agree with you on that. I was really excited to see, excuse me, what the Knicks, brought to the table. I am a little concerned about one thing, John. I figure we can start out the gate on that, bro.
Okay.
These slow starts, man. These slow starts are ridiculous. What is happening? What do you think it is? Why do you think? I mean, I get a little concerned. It's one of my pet peeves, as I've mentioned in multiple times. But every game, it's a slow start. Like, what's going on, bro?
I can't pinpoint it. That's the interesting part. When you see the team, it isn't like they're playing any differently as far as like it's not like I can't say they're playing lackadaisical or anything like that. They're playing with effort.
Mm-hmm.
It's just shots are not dropping early on, and I'm not sure if it's the pregame sort of maybe they adjust sort of what they're doing during shoot arounds, but somehow, some way they got to come up with a little bit more fire and energy. And I think they pick it up a little bit more on the rebounding side. That probably helps them get out in transition, but the slow starts are weird. And it's also like the matchups too. It seems like they can't figure out the matchups that early in games, or what the offense is doing against their defense early in the game. But as you see, like last game, second quarter, they picked it right back. They really tuned in. They started figuring it out, and then they started I think they won the last three quarters in yesterday's game, if I'm not mistaken. At least it felt that way.
I think you might be right. It's such a bad practice, a bad habit to get yourself involved in, to always continuing to play from behind and against good teams. Now, I will say, not to take anything away from the victory over the Bucks, but the Bucks are a struggling team right now in their own right. They got some issues that they're trying to fight through. So, sometimes you could look at it as a little bit of fool's gold. You know what I mean? You think, you got a really good victory, but you're getting a victory from a team that is also picked up some bad habits and is struggling in their own right. And so it's a little hollow, a little bit, slightly.
Are they
I don't know what
losers
the
of
hell's
their
going on
last
with
four?
them.
Are they losers of their last five?
Is it 5?
Is it the
I
last
definitely
5?
think it was. You might be right. It might be 5, which is even
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah. No. Because, I mean, we would have been fifth, right, on the docket.
Right.
So, yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to think. I mean, I do find concern in that, though. I do feel like we got to get out to better starts. But I don't know if it's anybody in particular that I can point to that isn't putting in full effort. I think they all putting in effort. It's just for whatever reason the ball isn't falling in the first quarter, or it hasn't been falling in the first quarter. So, so we'll see. But I mean, Walter put it there. I do like what Bogdanovich has been bringing off the bench in these last few starts. That's something exciting to look forward to. Hopefully, they can get him into more spots as the rest of the season dwindles down, and we can see more of how they're going to utilize him in the playoffs. and also Deuce, like loving what Deuce is bringing, the energy that he's bringing. So yeah, bad starts, man. I don't want to see that in the playoffs, man. We don't want to see that in the playoffs. Not at
No,
all.
not at all, man. Not at all. It's just not. It's not. It's horrible. It's not what you want to do. It just it makes everything. It makes life difficult as hell. You know what I mean? Like, and then like, what if we've been fortunate? That guys have kind of been okay, but there's been some games where guys haven't had their shot really going, but we've been able to kind of stay in games with the help of a hot Jalen Brunson. Even when he starts off slow, he ramps it up. But we could get one of those. We've had some duds, some real stinkers. If the Knicks get off to a slow start and are playing from behind, and we're in one of those modes where we're in a stinker, it's over. Game over early.
Yeah.
So,
and that's the thing. The pressure is a tenfold, right? In the playoffs, like you're gonna meet the best opponent defensively, because everything slows down. It's like everyone's slowing down the game. They're not letting teams go out in fast breaks. They're really taking care of the ball. Possessions is everything in the playoffs. So we got to make the most of our possessions. Pretty much, we got to make the best of it, and we got to really be clicking on all cylinders. We got to be ready to do the especially being ready for the traps. Brunson specifically, he just has to come in being ready for the traps and being ready to just let that ball go, and allow the offense to work away from him, as well as with him in moments of the game. So I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting to see early on what we see in the playoffs, depending on the matchup, and that's the scary part. It's like, who are we going to be matched up, against? Because right now, everyone's like a half game behind each other. So we could be either staying at 3, moving up to 2, dropping to 5. You know what I mean? Like we're anywhere within that area, and these last 4 games is going to tell the tale. You know what I mean? So it's going to be wild.
Yeah. Agreed. You know what? I think what we should do is shout out the chat real quick before we get any further into this. And also, we might want to open up the phone lines if there's anybody out there that wants to call in and chop it up with us today. By all means, you see that we are here and ready to talk to you. So shout out to the chat. Appreciate you guys. Let me just see who we got here going on here. We got Dripmore is in the building, the preferred barber of still Knicks fans and the Knicks community. Let's go. Dripmore is in the building. Walter Blackman is here. Always good to see you, Walter. Thank you for being here. Salute to you. Nick Jr. 79 is in the building. What's good? Appreciate you. Blood of the Panta is in the building. What's good, bro? Hope you're doing well. We got Andios NYK here. Salute. Appreciate you. Richard Hernandez is here. Castle King Raul, our guy from the Organic Fanatics podcast, is in the building. Salute to you, my brother. Hey guys, once again, if y'all haven't checked out the Organic Fanatics podcast, as my guy Hector would say from Morning Brew, what are you doing? Please go show them some love, man. Johnny Davis is in the building. We got Carlton Thomas is in the building as well. And shout out to Carlton Thomas. Thank you for the generous. I don't know if is that classified as a super chat or a sticker. I don't know what they call it, but we appreciate it nonetheless. So thank you for your dono. Thank you, brother.
Salute to you.
And he also says, salute Ron and John. Great win last night against them Bucks. Our boy JB killed yo. JB new name is the Golden Child. Let's go Knicks. I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
Sure is.
Yeah. Organic Fanatic Show says appreciate you, Barry. Okay. I see what you mean.
Wait.
Speaking of that, so I want to once again, I've already thanked them multiple times, but I'm gonna thank them again publicly on the show. just want to thank our guy Dexter Henry from SNY and New York Post Sports for allowing me to go on his platform and talk about our New York Knicks, representing still Knicks fans. It was a great experience. Enjoyed it so much, and would love to do it again in the future. But thank you for giving me that opportunity, representing our still Knicks fans clan, man. We appreciate it.
And you did a great job with it, brother. It was awesome.
Thank you, man.
I was like, look at my guy Ron doing it up. I would have been fumbling.
I had a good time.
I would have been in the words of Walt Frazier. I would have been fumbling and bumbling and all of that stuff. So thank you for doing that for us.
It was enjoyable. I felt good. Definitely enjoyed that. Would love to do that again. That was exciting. So that being said, let me see. Do we have the call-in number available so that we can allow people to? Yeah, there it is, folks. So listen, if anybody is keen on giving us a call, by all means, man, we'd love to hear from you. The number is 347-305-72. Is that an 80 or 6? My eyes are killing me right now. What is that?
Oh yeah. It's 80.
Hold on. 7280. Sorry, I had to go to a different screen and look at it a little bigger. Boy, they said 46 was gonna be tough. I see 47's getting worse. Man. All right. We're gonna be okay, man.
Listen, I ain't far behind, bro. I'm right there.
I'm like, damn, what? Do I have a magnifying glass? What are we looking at here? Oh, jeez. Oh man, shout out to all of you guys, man. We'd love to hear from you. Once again, that number is 347-305-7280.
Yeah,
so John,
give us a call. Ask away. Ask questions. Let us know what you think about our current Knicks.
Yeah, and we'd love to hear from you. But until you guys call, if you choose to or not, I got a question for you, John. I got a question, and shout out to my guy Craig, who's missing in action right now at the moment. But me and Craig be going back and forth. Craig be hitting me with all types of things. Ron, you seen this game? You see what's going on here? I'm like, yo, I get, I got it, Craig.
He's listen. Today is Monday, right? So there's a bunch of shows on right now. I'm sure he's on somebody's show right now.
Yeah, he's probably on somebody's show saying some stuff. Shout out to Craig, man. What? You got to love Craig, because one thing I will tell you about him, he's a passionate Knicks fan. He loves the New York Knicks, and he just wants them to be good. He wants them to be the best they can be. And when he don't see something that don't look right, he'll let you know about it.
Right.
So Craig's thing with lately has been Jalen Brunson, right? You're like, what? What could Craig have an issue with Jalen Brunson about? He does not like how we get off to these bad starts in games, and he attributes a lot of it to Jalen Brunson's play early. He feels like he doesn't do a good enough job facilitating or looking for his teammates. It becomes too much one-on-one hero ball, and even though we may need it, he still feels like it's a detriment to the rest of the guys, and that's why they start off slow and don't really get their rhythm and get going until the second half when he starts to include them more. What's your thoughts on that?
I think I kind of talked about it early, right? I said I want to see what happens in the playoffs, because in the playoffs, he has to be able to see the double teams coming, and he has to be willing to swing that ball or make the pocket pass to Hartenstein early, or to Hart early cutting into the middle. I think depending on if teams are trying to blitz him, he's got to play off the ball a lot more than he has been in order to get his teammates involved, but not really that. But also, I would say partly his teammates involved, but also finding other ways to score the ball other than having the ball in his hands and focusing their play off the pick and roll. I think if he can swing that ball and do a couple of back cuts, get people sleeping, maybe hit a corner three, come off of a screen, find other ways to get the ball and be effective, is how he's going to help this team, succeed. I think it's very important. I think Craig has a good point in saying that. I don't think that's the same for every game, though. I think it's game to game, right? Like, depending on what teams throw at you is how you have to, proceed. But yeah, there's something to be said about that. he isn't 100% wrong. Like, he isn't wrong by saying it.
Yeah, no, I can understand that. Like I said, when he goes on these rants about Brunson to me, I hear him out because I understand where he's coming from, and I get that you take the good with the bad. Like in some cases, Brunson has to do this, right? He has to go get his because other guys don't have it, right? He may have
Like
tried
that.
to give the guys passes. It's not there.
What was that game that we played? What team did we play? That he went. Basically, we would have been out of the game if he didn't score any buckets.
I think it was the San Antonio game.
Yeah, it was the San Antonio game.
I think it was the San Antonio
No
game.
one was clicking, and we were down 20-21. And if it wasn't for him to score, we wasn't going to even be close to, finishing that game the way we did. So.
Yeah, that was it. And so, you look at that situation and you're like, okay, because we were defending. Yeah, that was it. Because we were defending him that whole show because,
right.
That was that game. And in that situation, I'm with Jalen Brunson on it. I'm like, no, he had to do what he had to do there. Now, I will say, sometimes I know when he's going, now that he's kind of getting used to doing it, and maybe he gets a little tunnel vision. Is like, hey, I'm calling my own number. My number's working, and so and the team is like, yeah, man, we need you. Do what you got to do. It may be a little bit of a detriment sometimes to the team. Like sometimes you may have to dial it back and get other guys involved, but it's just tough. Like because the other thing, what I was telling Craig is like, the Knicks don't have a legitimate number 2 scorer on this team. It's a number 1, and that's it. And so they got to make sure that if nothing else is working, Jalen Brunson is going. They got to get his game going. And so the game is fed through Jalen. He's got to get going early, get him some points, and then be a consistent guy because once he gets going early, you got him for the rest of the game. You know what I mean? So I think that's very important for them to establish.
Which is why I'm saying that he has to figure out other ways to also score the ball other than having the ball in his hands and committing to a pick and roll, action, like finding if the team could find other ways of getting him involved, backdoor cuts, screens off to the corners, anything off the ball where he can, find his shot is something that we have to look into doing, especially early, especially if a team is blitzing or if they're pulling double coverage on him. You know what I mean? Or hiding a guy for a trap, disguising it, I should say. But again, if he'll find a way to score, it's just he has to mix it up, especially early on. So the game plan doesn't become so difficult, to be effective offensively. You know what I mean? Because it seems like they're always running that same action and then they want to get the ball back to him. And so they're running that action all over again. Like they're restarting it. They're not really doing anything different. They're just restarting the action. But instead of restarting the action, switch mid, switch during, if the first action doesn't work, go to a second or third action, where it's probably more of the back cuts through from the sideline. Maybe it's a Hartenstein pass, you swing around, have a screener, and then have a cut to the basket or something like that, But they have to figure out other ways to get Jalen the ball, and he has to find other ways to score the ball. But also, I think Walter makes a great point in which he says, Josh Hart needs to be more aggressive and not, be so passive. And Dante needs to be a little bit more consistent. And specifically from yesterday's game, I felt like OG was sort of, passed on a few times. And it's like, maybe get him going early. You know what I mean? Maybe it's not we get Jalen Brunson going early, but you get OG going early because Brunson can pick it up. So find ways to get OG going. So then you have a number 2. You may not have a legitimate number 2, but if you could create a number 2 by giving a guy like that with that kind of talent the ball in spots where he's comfortable in, the mid-range seems to be his area, along with the corner shot. So we'll see. We'll see how this develops, man.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's actually a really good point. And shout out to who said it? I think it was Sherwin. Shout out to Sherwin, by the way. Salute to you, my brother. Good to see you as always. Shout out to Dwayne Dennis in the building. Hey, there he is. Craig is in the building. What's going on, Craig? Just talking about you, bro, and how you feel about Jalen Brunson. To catch you up. So if you don't know, that's what we were just talking about. Your thoughts on him, and I was explaining, my take on it. And I'm gonna now explain a little bit more about it because Sherwin said. He said, "Good evening, my peeps. Brunson is 12th in the NBA in assists." And this is very true. So that's the thing about Brunson. Yes, maybe at certain points in the game, maybe it looks like tunnel vision. Maybe it looks like he's only calling his own number. But we already know there might be some extenuating circumstances there. We already talked about it. Sometimes he has to call his own number. And then once it's going, it's going. Listen, you don't tell a scorer because that's what Jalen Brunson, and I think we're still getting used to that fact. And I said it before, and I know I might have jumped out the window a little bit. I think I said this on Saturday. But I would not be surprised if you look at Jalen Brunson the same way you look at Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan. And I'm not saying he's that talent, that talent level. I'm saying mentality with regards to scoring the basketball. Like, once I'm going, I'm going. Like somebody got to stop me. I'm going. You know what I mean? I feel like Jalen Brunson is that style of player, right? So the other thing I wanted to say is to Sherwin's point about him being 12th in assist, it's even more interesting. He's at 6.7 assists per game. You guys know that one of the things you don't consider too much when in regards to somebody scoring assists is how much scoring they're doing, right? Jalen Brunson is not like your typical point guard where, he's scoring some baskets and then facilitating. He is scoring a lot of baskets. So, and if you look at the numbers, which I did, Jalen Brunson is the second highest ranked player to score 28 points or more and have the amount of assists that he has. So he's averaging 28 points per game and he's at 6.7 assists. There's nobody that's scoring as much as him and having that many assists in the whole NBA except for one person. There's only one guy that's scoring as much as Jalen Brunson, if not more, and is doing more assists. Can you guess who that is, John?
I'm going to have to say Halliburton.
No.
Luka.
I know Halliburton would be the easy choice, but it's somebody who's been doing it all. Yes, it's Luka. Okay. Luka is averaging 10 assists a game, and he's averaging like 32, 33 points per game. So Luka is killing.
I went to the assists instead of going to the points because I'm like,
I knew that's what threw you off. The assist, you might say that Halliburton might be a little higher in assists, but he's not scoring at the same clip as these guys. And I just find that remarkable because it's not easy to score that many points and still dish the ball to your teammates and find them when it's a lot of work. So so look at it like that, guys. He's number 2 in that category. That's special. And it also shows that he's not a ball hog. He's willing to share the ball. He's got to do what he's got to do.
But there are moments. I mean, like we said earlier, I don't believe Craig is all the way wrong with that. I think it's valid. I think there are moments within the game and specifically early in the game where there's opportunities to get your teammates involved early, and he should really look to do that because that will also help relieve the pressure that he will have in having to score so many points. As consistent as he's doing it right now. Although I'm not mad at it. I just think there are easier ways to score the bucket. You know what I mean? To score points in this league specifically. So we'll see. I mean, I guess it depends on the game. You know what I mean? And if his teammates are shooting themselves out the gym, then at that point, you have no other option than to just take over the game the best way you know how.
Agreed. I think that's what it comes down to. It's just about, what do you need to do? What does the team need of me? And he's just willing to do whatever the team needs at that moment. And that's why I respect his game. But yeah, and that's just going to happen. I'm sure as outsiders, when we watched Michael Jordan play, how he used to kill us and kill other teams, or the same thing with Kobe Bryant, watching what he. Yeah, we looked at it a certain way. Like, this guy's a monster. Oh, this guy, we can't stop him. Oh, look at this guy. We might say whatever, but I'm sure Lakers fans or Bulls fans watching them 82 games, game in and game out, there might have been some times like, oh man, Jordan's chucking or Kobe's chucking. I'm sure it came up. It had to have. So it is what it is.
Part of the game, man. It's part of the game. It's part of being the, like Melo likes to call it, the white cap. You're the white cap. You get the option of choosing whether it's going to be your night or not. You know what I mean? But also his teammates. You know what I mean? I think Walter we spoke about it a little earlier. Walter stated it on the chat. DiVincenzo got to be a little bit more consistent coming out the gate, and then Josh Hart has to be less hesitant, when it comes to actually attacking the basket and getting his, and I think specifically OG, I think if you give him the opportunity to score where he's comfortable scoring, I think he will help alleviate some of that as well. So we'll see how that starts to mature over the next 4 games. We'll see if that's something Tibbs has in mind, and the team, to try to get OG going early. And if they do, we'll see.
Yeah. Listen, I agree with you, bro. I agree with you. And it's one of those things where we just kind of keep hoping for other guys on the team to kind of fall in not fall in line, but kind of step up. Like, to your point about getting OG involved, do you think that is it just the fact that the Knicks offense is not really looking for OG and giving him those type of opportunities, or is it also a little bit on, I know you mentioned about the OG being passive, but do you feel like, all right, let me not say that, because you already talked about OG being passive and also the Knicks trying. Do you feel like the offense itself, not Jalen Brunson or anybody else passing the ball, do you feel like the offense itself is not necessarily geared towards getting a guy like OG going?
I don't think it is right now, but there were specific moments in yesterday's game where you kind of noticed, like, oh, we're going to play off of OG right now. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So if they were to do that a little, like just the start of the first quarter, just get him some touches early, make it not about Brunson, to see where that takes us, because again, he's somebody who's a willing passer as well. So he's going to look for the right shot, and he's going to make the open pass. So that in itself may get Jalen Brunson more shots off the ball, which is something I was talking about earlier as well. It's like, find other ways to score the ball. You don't necessarily have to have the ball in your hands to score the bucket. Right. I think if they start off first quarter just switching, who they're going to play off of, that may make all the difference in the world. I'm willing to do that with DiVincenzo, but it seems like he likes his current role on this team. Like, he likes to be the guy who gets the ball swung to him, because he feels more comfortable hitting those threes, and then driving off of that. Any defense that's trying to collapse at him or just run at him, he feels more comfortable, getting people off the air and then driving to the hole, and making a play like that. So I think that's more of his game, playing off ball versus on ball. So I think seeing what OG brings in that area would be interesting. Health, of course, depending on health, of course. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, I can get with you on that. Let me see what's going on with the chat once again. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Once again, if you want to, it's okay if you don't. I understand. Right. You're welcome to give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. That number is 347-305-7280. Once again, that's 347-305-7280. Shout out to all of y'all. I see we got D-Block in the building. Salute to you. What's good? Appreciate you, my brother. Hope you're doing well. JJ is in the building. Salute, JJ. Always good to see you.
Salute.
And let me see. Hold on. Okay. All right. So Craig said, but I'm sorry, but Brunson doesn't come close to any of those two players you just mentioned. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter whether he comes close to them. That's where he is statistically. He's at 28 points per game and 6.7 assists. That's the proof is in the pudding, right?
Yeah, I think he's more talking about their temperament, right? Like Jordan and Kobe's temperament.
Right. Yeah, I'm not talking about their skill set or the skill level comparison. I'm talking about the mindset. You know what I mean? Because there's a fascinating thing. Oh, I can't remember it. If you're a true still Knick fan watcher, you remember a couple years ago, we had a gentleman, a trainer on the show who really talked about. John asked him a question about, like, can you understand the difference or pinpoint the difference between a regular player and someone like a Durant, someone who, do you remember that, John?
Yeah. Who's
you asked that question.
IQ guy,
You asked that question, like, what's the high IQ guy, like, what's the difference between those type of players? And all I'm saying is, mindset wise, IQ wise, however you want to look at it, Jalen Brunson strikes me as he has the same thing that Jordan or a Kobe has, as far as how he approaches his thought, the way he looks at the game, the way it's not, listen, he may not have all of the defensive attributes as other players, and he doesn't have the height. But what if he did? If he had Jordan's height, Kobe's height, and that defense
and athleticism,
then we'd be talking a whole different story, right? But
then he's Anthony Edwards, right?
He's Anthony Edwards,
right? So,
but I would like to say that
up there.
I would like to say that if Anthony Edwards had was gifted with Jalen Brunson's mind of how he approaches things, Anthony Edwards might be the MVP of this league right now. But I'm a homer. Don't mind me.
But I mean, again, Craig is saying it right now. He is early in his tenure, right? Brunson is early on in his tenure here. So I think he is going to get there. You know what I mean? As a player, I think he is our white cap. He is the guy. He was our number one guy. So I think it's just, we're going to have to see what talent comes. We're going to see what talent, how much talent can the Knicks gather in the next couple of years to really showcase what Jalen Brunson can actually be as a number one.
Right. But I just wanted to say real quick, Craig says, but those two guys made their team overall better. Is Brunson doing that lately?
We winning. I mean, we ain't losing.
Listen,
like,
let me tell you,
we lost 3 of the last 4, right?
Right. But when Kobe was playing, when they were and the Lakers were at their peak, Kobe had Shaq, Kobe had Pau Gasol. You know what I mean? Lamar Odom when he was actually playing good basketball. He had some guys over there. Michael Jordan, maybe you can't say he had a bunch of
he had really good stars,
but he had very solid role players, and he had a number 2. Because I may not say that Scottie Pippen is a number 1, but he was a damn good number 2.
And given depending on the year and given the situation, you could have said the same when they had Horace Grant on that team. The Jordan Bulls with Horace Grant. He was a definite solid number 3 guy. And so was Tony Kukoc. Tony Kukoc wasn't a bum. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
and not to mention they had one of the best defensive players in the league, and Dennis Rodman, and the best rebounder.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, we got a call.
Caller, you're on the air with us. Please share your name. Where you calling from?
Yo, mine and John. It's JJ from Brooklyn. What's
poppin'? It's JJ. Fellas? What's going on?
What
JJ?
What up, fellas? How you doing tonight, man? What up?
Doing good. Chilling, man. Doing good.
Good.
So how you
Good.
feeling
Glad to
about
hear it, man.
our New York Knicks and our win last night?
Yeah, man, that's a big win, man. That was a big time win. Listen, the standings, they're still from 2 to like 7. It's still up for grabs, right? So you win the last few, you can end up 2. You lose the last few, you can end up in, 6 or whatever, So a lot to be determined down the stretch. I think it makes it pretty exciting,
Yeah, we still got
So,
exciting basketball to watch. That's awesome, right? It's an
yeah,
awesome feeling.
exactly, yeah. Word, exactly, man. I want to ask you guys, man, if it came down to it, right? Orlando and Indiana, would you rather face the high-powered offensive team in Indiana with no defense, or the great defensive team in Orlando with the lack of offense? Down to those two, playing them in the first round. Which
It's a really good question.
I'll let
That's
John
a really
answer
good
that
question.
first, man.
It's a really good question because it is tough, and that's a scenario that we can all see, right? Because that's
right.
it's something that it's not
Tough. I'm
far-fetched.
conflicted myself.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say this. I think for me, I'll feel more comfortable playing Orlando because they're young. Oh no, actually,
right,
Pacers
true.
are young as well. That's not really true
Yeah,
either. 'Cause
true.
they're young also.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just
true,
something
true.
about Halliburton that I'm not really willing to look at right now. Like he plays us really, really well. You know what I mean? And I think we have a better chance at attacking Banchero with OG being healthy right now or playing at the very least. I think we stand a better chance against Orlando than we do the fast-paced Pacers.
Right.
And I'm not even sure. Is Mathurin back? Ron, do you know if Mathurin's back?
No, I think he's done.
I think
I don't
Mathurin's
think
done
he's
for the
coming
season.
back.
Oh, he's gone for the season.
He's done.
So that helps. But
yeah.
who else is out there?
Yeah,
Turner, Obi. Who's
Siakam.
Who's out there? Siakam. Yeah, Siakam's a beast too.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I'm choosing my bets with Orlando. I would rather see Orlando right now.
What you think, Ron?
Honestly, man, Indiana scares me, and Orlando scares me, and Miami scares. I'm scared of. No, man, bring them all on. Let's go, baby. Come on, get up out of here. Boom, 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 boom.
Forget that scared stuff.
I was about to say you started to sound like a Brooklyn fan. You scared of everybody.
Nah, man, we'll take them all. Bring them all on. Let's go. Nah, I mean, really, honestly, Orlando Orlando's interesting because they got they really play us really well, no matter who we throw at them.
Physical.
And here's the thing, Orlando has faced us with OG, right? And we lost the game because we played poorly in the fourth quarter, and we should have won the game. But once again, that Orlando game is just like the San Antonio game that we lost. It's just like the whatever other games we lost recently that we should have won. That game is just like that. However, the flip side is when we played Indiana, we didn't have OG. So, and I think that's big. I think that's huge because having OG, someone who can actually stop, somebody like Halliburton, because Halliburton's tall, OG can play him, or whatever you have to figure out, whatever rotation you want to, do. But I also like the fact that Indiana's not a defensive team, so they're not stopping us either, right? But we are one of the best defensive teams in the league, especially with OG healthy and with Mitch back. They didn't face Mitch either, so I'll take Indiana in the first round. Let's go. I'll take Indiana in the first round. Let's take Orlando somehow in the second round, and then we'll face Boston. I don't care.
Then we'll get Washington in the ECF, right? Just kidding.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
I think, like you were saying, you guys both mentioned OG. I think having him is huge because you can put him on, say, Orlando with Banchero or, the Pacers with Siakam. So that's just, he's going to make life difficult. You can make life difficult for either of those two, that goes a long way in out, possibly winning that series. Somebody, if you could stick OG on those two, that's, I would love to knock out Halliburton in the playoffs. I don't know, is it just me? He just bothers me. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. He just be bugging me. I don't know, but I feel like
he does it on purpose
this,
too.
Like, tough guy. Yeah,
No,
I feel like he's trying
doing
to
it
do
on
this,
purpose.
Like, fake tough. Yeah, he just bugs me, man. I swear.
He's doing it because we didn't choose him.
That's exactly why he's doing it, because we didn't choose him. But that would be the perfect scenario for me, bro. If we were able to play Indiana first round, knock them out, then play Miami in the second round, knock them out, then go to face Boston, and whatever happens with Boston happens. But in ECF, I'd be happy with this season.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Of course. Oh yeah, 1,000%.
How do you guys feel? How do you guys feel if OG isn't 100% and somehow during the playoffs is not available for us?
Well, my thing is the defense is still, top notch, right? Especially he struggled a little bit in the first half. Giannis, he kind of drove it right into his chest a few times, but in the second half, he was saying, "That's it. You ain't got nothing against me." That was impressive, man. Locked in on Dame. Certain possessions, it was pretty fun to watch, but the offense isn't there. Like, his shot is super, super flat. Like, it's always been like flat, but now it looks like way flat. Like, there's zero arc. It's like almost like a Mitch free throw. It's just like a line drive. Like, it's looked. I'm hoping he could fix it. The last few games, I'm hoping he could kind of get his groove back. I don't know if the elbow's still affecting him a little bit. It's obviously possible. But I think
that is definitely a concern.
He could just give us some offense. Yeah.
I think the biggest concern is, like, he's probably not even getting the shots up during, practice, like during the shoot arounds. He's probably not getting enough shots up, during the off time too, because it's really about repetition, you know what I mean? And he's a corner. He was shooting 40 plus from the corner. And since his injury, he hasn't really hit that. Like, he's probably below 40 already since the injury. So it's all about confidence, right? Shooting is all about confidence. So the more you shoot it, the more confident you'll be. And having a bum elbow isn't going to allow him to shoot it as many times as he needs in order to really feel comfortable, letting him go.
100%.
So
right.
I did like his mid-range, though, in yesterday's game. There were moments in that game where he showed a little something in the mid-range. I could see them running the offense through him. So hopefully we'll see what I just want good health for OG coming in, because it's not like he affects the game so much on the defensive side. Even on the his off-ball defending, where he's not even on the man and guys are driving in and he's getting his hands in there and he's tipping the ball away and just affecting the play. It's key. It's key for us to get out in transition and score buckets. So
absolutely.
100%.
Ron, let's go. We're finally beating the Braves right now, bro. 8-5. Let's go, Mets. Let's go.
Hey, man, listen, we got some Met mojo, baby.
Do it. We
All right.
We got some mojo going.
Gonna get game 2, game number 2. Nice.
Oh,
no.
Listen, we won a series, man.
Did y'all win a series?
Exact. Tell them.
Oh, okay. My bad. There you go. Congratulations on winning a series.
We got to get back to champs of April.
Listen, I'm trying to figure that out, because right now the Yanks are champs of April.
Who? Yeah, I don't know what that. I don't speak of that.
The Yanks are spinning right now, kid. We kill it.
I don't know who that team is. I never heard of them.
JJ, listen, I got to take a page out of your book, right? Amnesia. I don't know them either. Right.
I don't
who
know.
They play
never
for?
Heard of it. Why do they play Montreal? Something? Never heard of it.
Yeah. I think that's somewhere there. They're somewhere out there. Well, JJ, listen, man, I appreciate you. I'm sure
you already
John
know,
will say
man.
the same thing, bro. We love the fact
Likewise,
that you call in and show us love, bro.
Appreciate
it's a pleasure, man. You guys keep up the great work, all right?
All right.
Hey, thanks, man.
You
thanks.
Guys be
Appreciate
good, man.
you guys.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Have a great rest of your evening, bro.
You too, fellas.
Latest.
You too. Later.
All right. Man, these Knicks, it's been a fun ride, man. Our season is almost over. There's not much left.
Yeah,
Man, it's so crazy. Time flies, bro. Especially when things are
it
starting to
does.
get good again. Come on, man. But
Yeah,
anyway,
man.
Let's do a real quick recap, guys, so you guys know if in case you've been living under a rock and have no clue what's happened. Do a quick little recap of the scores of the last 4 games for this week. Hit you with a quick BBG. We got to show the big bucket getter. You know what I mean. And then we'll get our predictions and get up out of here. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in and rocking with us so far. Thank you guys for being here. So first up the bat, man. This week didn't turn out the way we would have hoped it would have, John. But you got to play the games, right? You got to play the games. The Knicks versus the Miami Heat, folks. Ah, man, I wish things were different, bro. But they're not. They're not. It just is what it is. The Miami plays the Knicks tough every time, bro. They were, it was like knuck if you buck. They were knuckling us around, man. They was punking us out there, bro. They was punking us. Anyway, they wound up beating us 109 to 99. We would really never end this game. This was one of the one few games
Start
that
to finish.
I didn't feel confident. Yeah, I didn't feel confident about it at all, bro. What do you think
even,
about just real quick?
Even less confident because it wasn't even one of their primary players, right? Who was killing us.
Yeah, it was Highsmith. Highsmith was cooking us.
That's crazy.
Come on, man. Why does that always happen with the Knicks, bro? There's always some random dude cooking us, bro.
It's the guy who hasn't seen much play off the bench. All of a sudden, he's coming out and he's kicking. It's the worst.
Man, it stinks, bro.
And then he was pushing Brunson around too, which made it even worse.
And we had no enforcer, bro.
None.
Yeah, I wish we would have had Mook Morris, bro. Mook Morris would have been great right there. But it is what it is, man. It just is one of those games you're just gonna have to. But I hope the Knicks learn from that game, bro. I hope they said to themselves, all right, listen, when we see this team again, it's not going down like this. We ain't letting them punk us around. We got a little too, it was too cool. It was too friendly. No way.
Yeah, it's true. But those guys, like, they know the situation they were in, right? They were trying to really get up in the standings too, because I think they were just outside of the play-in, right? At that point, right? Or they were in them. They had to. They were pretty much playing for a seed, like a certain seed. They needed. So they knew the situation. So,
I mean, and I, even though okay. One more thing I would say about this. Terry Rozier technically was the one who killed us, right? But I feel like Highsmith is the one who his points was cooking us. Because when you get those extra points from someone else that you're not really thinking is going to light you up. Terry Rozier, say what you will. I mean, some people was like, "Yo, look at what he's doing." Terry Rozier was averaging 20 points per game with Charlotte. It's not like he can't score. He just was on one against us.
No, he could get his. You know what I mean? But again, it was really just they were all like Terry Rozier was playing well, Bam was playing well, Jimmy was doing his normal. What Jimmy does, you know what I mean? Like he affects the game in so many different ways. But like you said, Highsmith was coming around, grabbing key rebounds, putbacks, open threes. It was just every moment that we had a chance at a comeback, he would hit a dagger. He hit something else. It's like,
it was bad, bro. It was bad. I was like, I've seen enough of this. This. I don't want to see this no more. Get this guy away from me. It was not good. So that was that game. And the Knicks had to withstand that and deal with whatever Miami was throwing at them. They did whatever the hell they wanted. Right. So, okay, it's a bad game. You chalk it up. Let's move on. Let's forget about it. We know that after that game, we got Sacramento coming in town. Let's see what we can do against Sacramento. We played them well last time. Hopefully we can do it again. But now they're looking for revenge. But they didn't get it, folks, because the Knicks went out and they beat the Sacramento Kings 120 to 109 to get the victory. beautiful thing. It was nice to see the Knicks go out there. And let me tell you something. The Knicks looked pretty damn good in this game. They played
And it was
really
a hard
well
fought game
against
too.
Sacramento. Yeah. This was another good game to watch. Both teams really wanted to win the game, but the Knicks, they just had a little bit more, and they were moving the ball a lot. In this game, the Knicks were piling up the assists. They were believing in each other, which is a nice thing to see. So there's I might say, they played some really good games. I kind of think that this might have been the Knicks' best offensive game just as the way it was moving. Like, we finished with 34 assists. Guys were hitting their shots. It was the way they were scoring was really good. It was efficient. I don't know. I loved what I saw.
And we were down early in this game. We were down early.
Of course,
and there was a lot of excitement. But there was a lot of excitement. It seemed like the Knicks were up to play this game. You know what I mean? And there was no OG in this one, right? Am I mistaken? When I say OG,
no, OG
did not
didn't play in this one.
Yeah, so this was kind of like we were coming off of a bad loss against Miami. It was like, okay, we got to get a get-back game. We got to, you know what I mean, play hard. We got to be in it. This felt to me like a playoff game. Like, if you want a team to come in and play in a playoff atmosphere, this was the type of game that you want your team to come out like. And I think the Knicks were impressive in this game in the way they attacked in all areas of basketball, defense and offense. But I thought they played a really good game. We matched up well against that team, Sacramento. They got good three-point shooting. They got good, leaders in that team. And they got a 1-2 punch in Fox and Sabonis. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that kid, Keegan Murray, was shooting lights out. You know what I mean? Like, he was knocking them down. And so, yeah, we definitely did a good job staying in that game and then coming out victorious. So kudos to the Knicks for that energy.
And, in this game, the thing about the Knicks is we're always in search of, without Julius Randle, we're always in search of who's going to be that number 2 scorer. And so what we ask for is at least for whoever that guy is to give us around 20 points per game. If he can. And in this game, Dante DiVincenzo had 21 points and 5 rebounds. But what's the X factor, right? What took us over the top? Not the fact that Jalen Brunson had 35 and 11, or what you say, or Miles McBride having 12 and Bogdanovich having 12. It was Josh Hart putting in 31. 31, 9,
straight energy.
That was huge. Right.
Huge.
That was huge.
But we need to see more of that. And that's the key. I think that's the key as we move forward, is like we need to rely on him to not only just give it to us or give us that energy on the defensive side, but also on the offensive side and be a factor. You know what I mean? Be somebody who you just can't leave open, or you just can't let them, dribble down the middle. They got to expect you to be a threat somehow. You know what I mean? Like, the teams are going to have to see you as a threat, because if they don't, they're going to leave you open. So you got to show up.
100%. I agree with you. Well, so that was a good victory. Got the Knicks, Knicks and the Knicks fans feeling good once again about our team. Hey, man, we got it. We okay. We good. We starting to get it back. Let's get that mojo going. And then we go into a Bulls game. We're like, the Bulls have struggled all year. Now, mind you, the Bulls have been playing better as of late, right? But they're without Zach LaVine. Like, this is the Bulls. They don't have everything going on. Lonzo was coming back. He didn't play in this game, I don't think, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think he played, but he had come back. And we're like feeling good. Like, we should be able to beat the Bulls. Oh, no.
I think we underestimated them.
Wound up losing. Yeah, we did.
Yep.
We wound up losing to the Bulls 108-100, folks. Yeah, this one was a tough one, a tough pill to swallow, man. Wasn't happy about this at all, John. What was your thoughts about this one?
What's funny is that I caught bits and pieces of this game because I was doing family things during that time, during this game. So I wasn't really able to sit and watch this game. So I don't have much to say about it. But from what I could see on the highlights, it looks like we underestimated the team. But I could be wrong. I don't know. You can tell me.
Well, I will say that the game was definitely within reach. And Bulls got off to a hot start early. We struggled, went back and forth. Then we were down. Then we had to fight back in usual Knick fashion these past few games. But we did fight back. But the problem in this game was that on that really fluke play, Josh Hart kicked up his leg awkwardly and got ejected because even if he wasn't intentional, they felt like it was more of a indefensible act, some crazy terminology. And so they had to, not give him a warning, not give him a one flagrant. They had to give him the automatic 2, and they kicked him out the game early. So we didn't have Josh Hart for like 3 quarters, man.
What? Oh, so it was in the first that took place. Okay.
Oh yeah, it was early.
Oh wow, yeah. That's definitely going to be a change maker right there. Like you don't got anybody on the Knicks team who's going to bring that sort of energy or rebounding for that matter. Like what he does as a 6'6" small forward, power forward is impressive, man. You know what I mean? Like just getting the rebounds and getting out in transition is key for the way we like to play. So yeah, that's a big loss. I can see
actually, you know what? I don't even know if it might have been early second because it looks like he played 11 minutes. I'm sure it might have been early second.
Early second?
Yeah.
Either way, I mean, that's a lot of time. That's a lot of time.
It was definitely not good. And the worst part about this game was just that we weren't able to play New York Knicks basketball. Like we have an identity. There's certain things we do. We defend, we rebound. And in this game, our defense was lacking. OG didn't look like OG. You know what I mean? He just didn't have it this night.
Was that his first game back?
I think it was his first game back.
Okay.
He was very tentative out there. He wasn't really extending his arm a lot. He wasn't doing a lot of the stuff that we're used to seeing him do. And in that game itself, he finished. Let me see. He finished with 12 points. Offensively, he wasn't terrible, but he had 2 steals. I mean, he's still OG. OG's gonna do OG, right?
He's gonna get his.
He just wasn't. He wasn't affecting their offensive players enough through the way he normally would, and he only had 1 rebound, right? Then you say Isaiah Hartenstein had 7 rebounds. Mitchell Robinson had 5 rebounds. Like that's not enough to get it done. The Knicks finished with 38 rebounds, and they were out rebounded by 19. The Bulls had
Drummond had one of those
rebounds.
games.
Yeah,
Drummond had one of those games, huh?
Drummond finished with 16 rebounds.
Yeah, and
Vucevic had 13 rebounds. And once again, you know how we pinpoint the guy who killed us. Javonte Green killed us because he had 25 points, but he also had 13 rebounds.
Here it goes, another guy. Like, has he been in there starting 5 this year?
No, he doesn't start. He comes off the bench.
Comes off the bench. See, another one. Here's another one.
he shot 10 of 14 from the field, John. He's 71% from the field.
Wow.
Like, come on.
That's funny.
Come on. What are we doing? So that was that game, and once again, we're like, this is like the Jekyll and Hyde Knicks. It's the roller coaster Knicks. You start to feel good about them, and then we get the letdown. Oh, but now we got Milwaukee, so you know what that means. It's gotta be
everyone jumping off the ledge, and then we get the victory. Yeah.
All these Knicks, man. You can't make this stuff up. They're incredible, man. The Knicks wind up beating the Milwaukee Bucks 122-109. Really good victory. Yes. Let's go. Really good victory.
Way to end the
week. We needed it, man. We needed it. Shout out to the chat, man. Y'all know how much we needed it. Shout out to Coach Sire in the building, Kareem Grant. What up, twin? Yo, we needed that victory bad. And the Knicks played great. I don't want to say they played really good. I don't want to say they played great because we've seen. We've seen them play even better, but they played good. Right. They played good.
Right.
It was very solid, and defensively, they really stepped up. They played in that second half. They played fantastic basketball. That first half, once again, we already talked about it early in the show, getting down and you know, putting yourself in a hole. But they fought back and they fought out of it. But they gotta, I don't know, they better come out, you know, tomorrow's game, they better come out with a different attitude, because you cannot keep starting off slow in these games. It's gonna bite you eventually.
Right. Worst time to see that is in the playoffs. So let's not have that
100%.
become a
100%.
a thing. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I'm with you on that. But you know, one of the things that happened in this game that we talk about, we touch on, is that, you know, we had stellar basketball play once again from that guy. You know what I mean? Listen, he might as well just say, you know, Ron, look, you know, why don't you give this award to somebody else, man? I'm getting it every week. Yay, Jalen, that's what you are, baby. You are the BBG, the big bucket getter. Yes,
Amen.
Jalen did it again, folks. 43 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists on 50% shooting from the field. Milwaukee knows he's going to be the guy. Milwaukee's like, there's no number 2. Still can't stop him. Still can't stop him. Unbelievable. Jalen Brunson, you know what I mean? He's our superstar, folks.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's conversations of him making, you know, being in that conversation of MVP. So he's right there. Number 5 could be a bunch of different players, but there are certain individuals, writers, who are actually, you know, penciling him in as a top 5 for MVP race. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, he's the dude. He's the dude. Gotta love him, man. We gotta appreciate what he does. He's consistent. He's consistent. Well, guys, listen. Oh, wait. So the show's not over?
What's up, guys?
Hey,
what up? Jose, what's going on?
Oh, my goodness. This is the second mistake I made today.
Look at that.
That music that I played. I'm so sorry.
Oh.
Hold up.
Oh, it's okay. Don't worry.
Ron, pretend like you're ending the show again.
Okay. Well, guys, I just gotta say this was a great show. Appreciate. Oh, wait. The show's not over?
Ladies and gentlemen, your king of predictions for this week is none other than Mr. Ron himself. Take it away, sir.
Let's go! Oh, sorry, my bad. I was on my disco flow, baby. You know, freestyle music. Don't get me started.
Yeah.
Isn't it great, Ron? You know, it's been a while since we've been able to do this, because for the past few weeks, you guys have been predicting the same predictions. And last week, you guys decided to do something different. Well, technically, you guys didn't. It was Chris who decided to do something different. And because of that, I'm able to bring out the big L again.
Don't hide from the L, baby.
Congratulations, Ron, for winning the second to last week of predictions.
Man.
Thank you. Thank you.
I was trying to win that steak dinner.
We'll see what we can do out here in these streets. Now, I do know we've already made our predictions for next week, so they're already in the books.
But wait,
I know.
there's more.
You don't take over my segment like that, man.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Come on. Ladies and gentlemen, if you joined us last week, then you know that we only have 8 games of last week. Now we only have 4 games. But both Ron and John did predict the last 8 games of the season. However, I was a nice guy. I said I would throw a good curveball today. And it's pretty simple. These are your predictions for last week. These are your predictions for the last 4 games of the season. But I'm going to give you the opportunity today, right now, in this evening at 10:25 p.m. if you want to change your predictions. Now, wait. correct me if I'm wrong. Last week, John,
Yeah.
was the first 4 games predicted by Chris, or were those your predictions?
My predictions were last week's. This week's was Chris.
So you messed up.
Yeah,
This
I did
week
mess up.
is Chris's prediction,
That is correct.
which is basically the same set of predictions that you had for last week.
Was it?
Yeah.
Win, loss, win, win. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, you really thought that the Sacramento was gonna, defeat the Knicks last week.
I did. You're right.
Well, with that being said, gentlemen, the last 4 games of the season, the last predictions you will make on this
For
season.
2024. Woo.
Are you going to keep it, or are you going to change it? And just so as a reminder for everyone who didn't tune in, and if you didn't tune in, you better go on our YouTube playlist and watch last week's episode. I can't quite remember who it was. I don't know if it was Ron or John, but we basically had a first responder guest last week, Mr. Chris. He is the one that you saw in the new intro video the second time, because the first time somebody muted it wasn't me. Yeah. Made a predictions for one of these gentlemen. So, which gentleman was that? I don't remember. Who was it?
He made it for Ron last week.
So he made it for you for this week.
Yep.
So, John, since the first responder, the man that puts his life at risk, predicted these games for you, my question to you is, are you going to trust him, or are you going to change your predictions?
The tough part about this is that I know Boston's going to rest their guys.
Wait. Go ahead, man. Think about it.
Sure. I'm thinking. I think the tough part for me is that I feel like Boston's going to rest their team. So, with that said, that loss might be a win. But I'm not going to go against Chris's decision. He decided it as a loss. I'm sticking with this. I'm sticking with his predictions. I'm rocking out. Let's go.
Air horn for you right there.
Yeah.
Ron, these are
Yes,
your
sir.
predictions. You
They
continue throughout this whole season to have faith in this team. That's why the show's called Still Knicks Fans, right?
That's
Yet,
right.
there has been moments that you have failed. There has been moments that you have predicted wrong. There have been moments when you were not the king. However, you were the king of last week. So my question to you, Ron, will you be the reigning king for the end of the season? Or do you just want to change your predictions right now? What?
I am thinking. Got it.
Go ahead.
I'm going to keep it the way it is, folks. 4-0, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, it has been a pleasure being with you for this season. Even though you guys fired me for the first 3 months, which is okay. I'm happy that you guys brought me back.
Wow.
And to the fans that have been supporting us, we thank you. Continue to buy us coffee. Continue to support this channel. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend. Still Knick fans. We'll be back again. Ron will say
All
the rest
right.
of the spiel later today.
Nice.
It's
That's
been
good.
amazing.
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
been fun. I can't wait for the steak dinner. The greatest thing about it is that whether Ron wins or John wins, Jose always wins. He is always going to get his steak dinner.
Either way.
Yes. Either way, I'm still winning.
He's a
With that
winner.
being said, guys, until next season, adios.
Let's go.
Hey. You know what I mean? I'm talking
Hey,
about
listen.
Jose.
4 in a row. I mean, we get 4 in a row. What's our record?
Well, currently we are at 46 and 32. We get 4 in a row. We hit 50. 50 burger.
Hey, we get 4 in a row. So I'm going to say this. If I lose, we win. So it's a win either way. So I'm rooting for you, Ron. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's
go.
go.
Oh
Yeah,
man, that'd be great. That'd be great.
That would be.
Let's see.
And that'd be like a, icing on the cake right there. Just like as a total, how do you finish the season? You know what I mean? Like
I like it. I
like that.
I'm rocking with that. That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. Well, hey, listen, guys, it's been a great show. Once again, thank you guys for being here and rocking with us on a extremely busy Monday night. A lot of shows. There was even a couple other new shows or new drops today of different content creators on Monday. So very busy. Thank you guys for being here and rocking with us. Shout out to JJ, our caller today. Appreciate you, my guy. Thank you for calling in. Thank you guys for always supporting us, man. This has been a great season. We're not going anywhere. It's just we won't be doing predictions because the season will be over. But thank you guys for being here and rocking with us throughout everything we got going on, man.
Absolutely.
So, as Jose was so eloquently saying, well, you know what? Let me let John do his thing first. John, final words.
Oh man, as always, appreciate you all in the chat. Appreciate you all tuning in on X. Like we always say, stay safe, stay healthy. Looking forward to the next one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please smash that like button. We see there's a bunch of y'all on X right now tuning in, watching. Thank you guys for being here. As John said, thank you to everybody on YouTube that's watching. Please smash that like button if you haven't already done so. As I always like to say, as Jose so eloquently put it, tell a friend who tells a friend who tells another friend. Still, Knicks fans, we'll be back again, whether it be on Monday nights at 9 p.m.-ish for SKF Weekly with your boy Ron, my brother John, and my guy Jose. Or whether it be on Thursdays or Friday, depending. This week, it's not going to be on either of those days. We're going to push it to the following week because the Knicks play back-to-back games on Thursday and Friday. So look for the NBA wrap-up next week and the wrap-up next week on the Front Stoop. And continue to support the Front Stoop because we're starting to ramp up the shows. There's going to be more ideas, things happening. Sim and Tony are starting to get back into content on there. So please, check out the Front Stoop channel if you haven't already done so. And then lastly, if you haven't had enough, Saturday at 11:30, Know the Ledge. Yours truly. I'm going to talk you off the ledge. And then maybe in 2 weeks, I'm going to get you ready and prepared for the playoffs. Because guess what? We are almost there, folks. 4 games left, and then it's real. So let's go, New York,
it's
baby.
Gonna be exciting.
Yes. Hey, and remember, throughout it all, guys, all the stuff we say to each other, all the stuff that happens in the chat, all the back and forth, all the stuff that we watch with our own eyes that we're like, I can't believe what happened. All the bad referee calls. All of the Julius Randle being out for the rest of the season. All of that being said, in the end, what? We are still
Knicks fans. That's right.
All right, guys. We out of here. Have a good night.
Now I'm just going to let you guys stay on the screen for just a couple more seconds. Look awkwardly at the people. Yep. Come on, this is the perfect way to end the last week of predictions.
I feel like I'm doing that dance. If anybody's ever seen The Wood.
We out of here, folks.
Freedom over fame. Freedom over cycle stays the same.